Hello my brothers and sisters, my name is Tim Heijen and welcome again in the Belgian forests. My name is Tim Heijen and I am a dragon witch, and I want to say this to the entire world. Of course not in the beginning of my path, I was so afraid to tell this, but in fact it's a name that I've given myself because I use magic and I use manipulation and I use witchcraft and I use it all to be together with the dragon. How it's being used is for everyone different. That is how I cannot say to you, for example, how you can do witchcraft or how you can do a period dragon. The only thing that I can say to you, if you are very much, if this path is really your path and you love your dragon very much and you don't have to force yourself actually to love your dragon, then this is your path. Then you are already being born as a dragon witch. Of course, the dragon witch, I call myself like this, a witch for humans and a dragon for dragons. That is what I am. That is how I call myself. I can see, humans see me as a freak, as a weirdo, and dragons see me as one of them. And that is how I saw it in the beginning of my path. Even though I pushed the dragon away in the beginning of my path, but it is really simply because of humans who said that dragons were not real and you have to be adult and be serious and be, even though they are religious and they go to church and they actually worship someone who they cannot see, but in fact that is acceptable. But the dragon is not. How is that serious, my brothers and sisters? And I also am a very firm believer, not really a believer, but almost convinced that dragons used to walk on this world. Can you imagine this, my brothers and sisters? That in this forest there were dragons. I can still feel that somewhere, somehow, that there are still spirits and energies of dragons left behind here in this beautiful forest. Forest dragons, forest spirits. They are called forest spirits because there are so much gates inside of where nature is at their wildest. There are so many gates. They are being called forest spirits. One of these forest spirits are dragons, and I can still feel that. That is why I am so drawn to forests. They are so powerful. But it's not really much a belief that I have, it's much more of a conviction that I have. That dragons used to walk around in this world, that they were actually with humans, with people, and that is not fantasy. That is also something that I hate, that dragons that are seen now as fantasy, that they are not real, that they are just imaginary, that they are fantasy, they are not fantasy. I experienced them. Once I was 18 years old, I was not crazy. I knew what I saw, and I still feel that energy that never goes away, never felt. I mean, every time when I close my eye, I can still feel that dragon. The dragon, the dark black dragon by my side, showing me my own hands, showing me my brown scales, is something that I will never forget. I cannot say this to people, and I cannot convince people of the existence of dragons, but I don't care about that. I don't mind that if they believe or not. I knew what I saw. I knew what I felt, and I knew what my path, my life was made of. I'm a dragon witch, my brothers and sisters. A witch for humans and a dragon for dragons. And that is my path. A path that is not yet been made. But of course, I do believe in some things that I cannot say to you, my brothers and sisters, if it's real or not. That there were dragons here in this world, for example. There were not found remains of dragons, of course. I cannot say that. But I'm a firm believer that dragons were here long before humanity was evolved from apes. And I'm a firm believer as well that dragons, saw this evolution of humans. Dragons saw this evolution going on, that there would be actually new beings that were supposed to rule this world, and that dragons actually saw this and tried to be an example for humans. Dragons are very wise beings, very ancient. They know a lot of answers that we do not. Answers to a lot of, they have wisdom that is that you cannot be compared to another being. They are much more connected to gods themselves. They are children of gods in flesh and blood, and they were trying to connect with humans. And these humans were actually the disciples of dragons, trying to teach humans about them, teach humans the ways of wisdom and power and connection, and how they should rule this world. And in the beginning it seemed that they were succeeding, because in the beginning, whenever humans were very young, they seemed to worship dragons. They seemed to connect with dragons and worship dragons. That is why I still know the name Tiamat, Leviathan, Quetzalcoatl and Fafnir. Fafnir came later, but before it, they actually worshipped all of them. All of them used to be seen as gods, not humans. Of course, when you see Jesus, it's a human. Whenever you see Muhammad, it's a human. They always and only worship humans and not dragons. They used to worship dragons, of course. And then it always came to humans. And of course, now dragons are seen as villains, as fairy tale figures, as a second-hand earthling. But of course, goddess. In the beginning, of course, that is something that I believe. I cannot truly say to you that is a fact. But that is something that I feel. That dragons used to walk around in this world, and they used to be, they would be on the side of humans, telling them how to rule this world in wisdom and knowledge. And then, of course, humans became greedy, became much more, destructive, and wanted to rule it, and were actually blinded by power, that they always dismissed the dragon and even killed the dragon. And even that is how I feel it. The dragon has gone away from this world because of humans, because humans wanted to control everything. And that is also inside of religion. They used to worship the dragons, now it's themselves. That is the simple thing. That is the reason why they hunt, because they like to bully, they like to best themselves. They cannot be surrounded by someone who is higher, and the dragon was higher. They could not accept it, so they hunted them. That is what I feel, my brothers and sisters. I cannot say this to you if it's real or not, but that is how I feel it. Whenever I touch a tree, whenever I try to connect with nature, that is the story that nature tells me. That is how I feel it. And I feel it with a lot of darkness and sadness. And why am I feeling so bad? Why am I so ashamed to be human in front of the dragon? That is why, my brothers and sisters. Because they always want to best, they always want to destroy, they always want power. That is why, and even though dragons were the example for every living being on this world, they could not accept it. They say, we are the ones, we are selected by God, so we have to control this world. That is why I cannot, dragons don't hate. Dragons don't have the feeling of hatred. Dragons don't have this out of control darkness. They have all of under control. But I am still connected to humanity, and humanity hates. And the darkness that surrounds me, whenever I heard this story for the first time, not from a human, but from the trees, from the wild, from nature, from Tiamat, this story that she tried to tell me, I don't know if I heard it right, but it's something that I feel inside of my spirit, that dragons used to walk around in this world, that humans could not accept the wisdom of the dragon, and that dragons were now forced to go away inside of a realm that they cannot be touched, that they cannot be harmed, and this realm that we are actually trying to reach out to. Can you imagine this? If humanity just accepted the dragon. Whenever you see dragons in media, they are something that I just saw, how a dragon is being killed as some kind of a boss villain, as some kind of an experiment, as some kind of a challenge that they have inside of a video game, that this dragon is being killed in the most gruesome way. How can I not be dark about humans? How can I not be ashamed in front of my dragon and Tiamat? How can I not? That is why I am surrounded by nature. I let myself be surrounded by nature. I want to hear Tiamat's voice. I want to hear my guardian's voice. I don't want to hear the voices of humans. Humans, whenever you see animals in this world, they are nothing for humans. They are objects. Nothing at all special. Nothing living. Just objects. And that is eventually what humans didn't seem to understand. That there is a higher force than themselves. That they don't rule this world. That they shouldn't rule this world with just force and death. Dragons are beings of compassion. Dragons are beings of wisdom. Dragons are beings of life itself. And that is what I came to understand from dragons. Life in itself. They are life. They are the children of gods, the children of the dragon gods. So in fact, I cannot prove this, but it's something that I feel very well. And that is actually the positive side of the dragon's path. Nothing is written. You have to search it all for yourself. Whatever the truth is for you to find out. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.